I always say this, once you get the information, you are not responsible. Like, it's okay, it's not okay, but I'm saying this using this figuratively. It's okay that, I mean, literally, it's okay, when you blowing money because you don't know no better, right? But once you become cognizant and once you have the information, now you are held accountable. And so for me, now more than ever, I am held accountable. One, because I went from homeless to being where I am now, right? Nobody else in my family went through that. I went from not just once, but twice to building a business, to learning how to invest, to giving my daughter a custodial account, she'll be a millionaire before she's 15, right?
Damn.
Yeah, these things are so important to me. So now we set new rules. We set new rules of engagement. What are those rules of engagement? Okay, so now everybody, my little cousin just had a little boy. I said, bro, we got to open up a custodial account now. Like now. He's a couple weeks old. We got to open a custodial account up now. Well, why do I got to do that? Because if we start investing now, we can now increase him being a millionaire, but also we can start implementing, impregnating him with certain things, right? We can start talking about money once he gets 2 years old. Like my daughter, she's 6. Her ABCs for me come in the form of A is for asset, B is for bank, C is for credit, F
That
is for
is
fiduciary,
genius.
right? This how the ABCs come to her.
Does she know the word fiduciary?
She know what it means.
Dude, that's incredible.
Right? So that's how the ABCs are now talk to her. E is for equity. Like this how we, now you got to give me okay, so what does it mean now? Not just a norm, but what does it mean now? Right? And so now when we go to Disney World, you know you own stock in this, right? When I bought for her birthday, she made 6. I said, what do you want, babe? She's like, I want to buy some Roblox stock. Right? So normally for me, it's breaking down the business, going through my whole process. But for her, it was like, let her get the exposure to it. So, yep, let's buy the Roblox stocks. How many shares you want? She said, I want 16. And then when I pulled it up on my phone, she said, no, I want 100. Cool. We bought her 100 shares for her birthday. It don't matter that the stock is down right now because it was her identifying that instead of getting me this is what I want. So now for me, it's that my great aunt is gone. This now has to be, she's transitioned. This now has to be the value system that we stand on. So everybody that has a kid, as soon as you have a kid, we open up a custodial account. But then we're going to double down with it and say, when that person has a kid and open a custodial account, everybody now is responsible for putting the first $50 to it. Right? So now we implementing new rules. We implementing things now that every family member now has to take on. Right? And now everybody embraces it. And so changing that dynamic of my family, implementing new rules, becoming the leader. If we look at a lot of people's family, no one has a real leadership in their family. But when we look at successful families, there's leadership there. I don't care how much we don't like the Kardashians or whatever, how you feel about them. That mother leads that tribe, right? And then if we look at it, okay, she leads that. We look at the Waltons, somebody leads that tribe. Right? We look at every rich family, and then after the leader is gone, someone is groomed to step up and take place. So the family structure doesn't fall. The Vanderbilts didn't have that. And so now their family is never talked about. Right? So for me, it's how do, just with my family, how do I now implement those rules because I am now the leader? And the most scariest thing anyone can do ever coming from lower class, middle class poverty is the most important financial decision you'll ever make is how much of your money that you make from your paycheck you're going to get to work for you. It's the most important decision you ever make financially. Because if you never know how much money from your paycheck that you worked hard for that's going to work for you, then you're always going to have to work for every paycheck. And if you got to always work for every piece of income that you have physically put in that labor, you have a cap on what you can make. That's just the truth of the matter. And so, just changing that when you just gave that Booker T. Washington scenario, that's what just jumped in my mind of the family members don't appreciate the wealth if they didn't contribute to building it. So now how do we set a culture that makes everyone contribute to building the wealth of the family? For me, I don't want to focus on closing the wealth gap. That's not my focus.
When you say you're knocked to your knees, you're